Hello and welcome to today's drum lesson. Today we'll be talking about making rock patterns groove. And so what we're going to do is going to take a basic 4 on the floor rock beat based on all 4 counts there. I'm going to play it 2 different ways for you, and I'm going to see if you can tell me which way grooves more, what sounds better to you, okay? And I ask the same question to my students, and we'll see what answer you come up with here, but I think I can tell. Here's the first way of playing that 4 on the floor rock beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the second way, playing the same drum beat, playing a little differently though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so which way sounded better to you? I'm going to bet you're going to say the second way, and you are absolutely right. But can you tell why? It's because the second one grooved much more. You could tap your foot to it. You felt like dancing. You felt like grooving a little bit there. All right? So the reason why is the hi-hat mainly. Before, I was real stiff, and I was playing what sounded like to me was, when I was growing up, my mom had this organ, and it had all these presets there. You'd have the cha-cha-cha, you'd have the merengue, you'd have the bossa nova, and you'd have a rock beat there, but it sounds so stiff. And that's the way that first version sounded to me. It was just very stiff there. I'm sure you picked up on that right away there, how stiff I was there, okay? So, the second version, I was more relaxed. The hi-hat was grooving. Yeah. I was doing what I like to tell my students, the whip tap. Okay? I'm just bringing out every down beat. Every beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bringing it out a little bit stronger. And the ands, a little bit softer. Almost like ghost notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. And I'm just grooving to that right there. I could groove to that all day. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So, what we need to do is just get used to playing that. That's going to make whatever pattern that you play, it's going to make it really groove, okay? And the band is going to love you. So, there's a PDF that goes with this video, and it's got 7 patterns or 7 exercises to work on to incorporate that. So you get used to playing that with whatever snare and bass drum pattern you're playing there, okay? That's really going to make the difference there. It kind of separates the pros from the amateurs, all right? So here's pattern number 1 here. Just based what I was doing there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now when you play that, don't be stiff and play just from the wrist. You don't want that. Okay? That's not grooving. Okay? You're hearing the accents, but it's not grooving. And we're not going to play it like this. That's really stiff there too, isn't it? Okay? So, we're going to let the blood flow all the way through our arm there to our wrist there. Play just like this, okay? Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, pattern number 2, we're going to add the snare drum in on 2 and 4, okay? Here it is, and it's going to feel pretty natural. The snare is going to fall right with the accent, so it's not going to be much of a challenge, but let's do it anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, exercise number 3, we're going to incorporate the bass drum. Just right on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is. 2 falls right with the accents. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Can you hear the whip tap? Whip tap, whip tap, whip tap, whip tap. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Here's where it gets a little more interesting on number 4. Now the bass drum is going to fall on the unaccented notes, on the ands. So it gets to be a little bit more of a challenge here, okay? So I would suggest working this out very slow at first there, because if you're not used to this, you're going to end up switching your accent to landing on the ands of the bass drum, where you move your bass drum to where the ands are, okay? It just wants to gravitate toward that. So we're going to be very deliberate. We're going to train our muscle motion to get those accents in the right spot there, and the bass drum on the ands there. So the ands are going to fall on the bass drum, but also on the unaccented notes. Okay? So here's what it's going to sound like. We're going to take it kind of slow to get used to that motion. Train yourself slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you're going to find yourself struggling a little bit at first of that, but be persistent. It's going to come. All right. Number 5, we have bass drums on 1 and the and of 1, and also on 3 and the and of 3. Goom, 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 goom. Okay? 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. Number 6, the bass drum is on 1, the and of 2, also on 3, and the and of 4. Boom, boom, dum. Love dub, like a heartbeat. Dum, dum. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1. All right. And our last one. The bass drum's got to fall in 1, the and of 1, the and of 2, 3, the and of 3, and the and of 4. Dum, 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 dum. 1 and 2 and ready, play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? All right. For an added challenge, I would probably put the snare drum on exercises 3 through 7 there, and just add the snare drum in there on 2 and 4. Okay? Also, instead of playing the bass drum parts on those exercises there, use just the snare drum. Okay? That's kind of an added challenge there too. For example, number 4, instead of playing the bass drum, I'm going to play that on the snare drum. So it's going to feel like this. 1, 2, ready, play. Tricky that is for some people. Okay, so I would just substitute the bass drum, or put the snare drum in substitution for the bass drum on those patterns. All right. Now there's a PDF. Also in that PDF are 37 other patterns that I want you to give a try there using that whip tap, or that accent pattern. Okay, give those a shot. Some will come easier than the others. I tell you what, if you work on these really, really hard, you're going to train your muscle memory. You're going to be able to do advanced patterns with your bass drum and snare drum with different combinations like that. One thing too, if you're grooving like that, it's going to help you groove. Believe me. Once you are, your bass player that you play with there is going to want to kiss you. He's going to love you. I tell you what, you're going to be his favorite drummer. I guarantee. And the band's going to love you. You're going to be making great music, and the fans are going to love you. It's just a good thing all the way around there. So give these a try, be persistent, don't give up on them, and you're just going to take your drumming to another level. I guarantee it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a great day. Keep on drumming. We'll see you next lesson.